Moise Bertrand.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Man, listen, I'm different. Understand that. And the reason I'm starting off the podcast like that is because I want you guys to know this podcast is going to start being like real with you guys. I already been real with you guys, but I feel like I have some things I should just start saying more on this podcast. It's giving you guys more insight, more just more deeper thinking answers and questions that everybody should be thinking about. Like at this age, I'm 23 right now, and I feel like a lot of my peers are around the same age, and if not, older. But I just want to tell you, no one gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a fuck about what you're doing with your life, about your goals, about nothing. And no one cares. And I'm not saying it like in a funny way. I'm saying it like you shouldn't be too hard on yourself. That's the basic. Don't be too hard on yourself because no one gives a shit. I know so many people who are stuck in their ways and things, and I was once stuck in my ways too. Let me not come out here and act like I'm perfect for you guys, because I'll be lying. At one point, I was stuck in my ways because I was always looking for validation, and I stopped doing that. Just because I'm like, well, no one gives a shit. No one's gonna care if I go bankrupt. No one's gonna care if I get rich, because no one is me. So I try to tell everybody I come in contact with, and advice and conversation I have with people is like, no one gives a fuck, but you should always keep your next moves private. You should always keep your life private. And that's not because you don't want everybody to know about it. It's because you don't want too much people to know about it, and bad energy is a real thing out here. So I tell everybody, like, if you're going to do something you love, do it. No one gives a shit. If you're going to chase your dreams, do it. No one gives a shit. If you're going to get married or stay single or, be in, multiple relationships at one time, no one gives a shit. Like, I don't care what you guys do with your life. And I think you guys shouldn't care what other people think about you, because the whole aspect of life is stop caring about what other people think. I kind of been in my ways lately, just figuring out what I really want to do in life. I already have marketing as, the frontier of things, but I've been diving into other things, tapping in here, just to get a feel for what I really want to do for the next couple of years of my life and following. But, I was thinking, what is everybody going to say? I was thinking about this for a long time. Like, what are they going to think about me? Are they going to think I'm a failure if I don't want to do this anymore? Are they going to think that I'm not successful if I don't do this, if I don't do that? And I kind of got out my head about that, because, you only know yourself. You only know your situation. You only know what you tell people. And shout out to Mr. Daniels, man, and shout out to my guy Adrian. These two guys, like, they really shed light on a lot of things I was like blindfolded on multiple things and such, just because people don't think like everybody else. And what I mean by that is, like, Mr. Daniels, my mentor, he kind of says no one gives a shit. No one gives a fuck about, unless you tell somebody what you have going on, no one knows. And, Adrian, a good friend of mine, good brother, line brother, frat brother as well, cool guy. And all he says, like, bro, no one cares. Like, I know people doing things outrageous and no one's looking at them any different. So I kind of took these two guys' perspectives, and my girlfriend, of course, Ivory, she gives me the most insight and most strengthful conversations. Like, she's taking me through point A to point B to point C, and she always shed light on the things I feel like I'm in fear of. She always tell me that I'm perfect, I'm great, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I had to get out that mindset of looking for validation and looking for people to tell me, hey, congratulations. I was waiting on that. I was waiting on people to tell me that, when the whole time I wasn't clapping for myself. And I feel like that's what kind of made a turmoil in my mind about certain things I was trying to accomplish and achieve. But I kind of tell everybody at the end of the day, like, be yourself. Don't let nobody change you. Don't let nobody tell you different, because if you and God had a conversation, right, and you gonna tell everybody, people gonna think you're crazy. If God literally stood in front of you, people gonna think you're crazy. That's why I told you, don't give any remarks or any attention to things that don't help you in life. Only work on things that are helping you grow as a person. I've been working on transformation of my mind. I've been working on strengthening my ego. I've been working on putting away my ego sometimes. I've been working on understanding and listening more. I've been working on healing. I've been working on just diving into the deep end and not caring about what other people think. And then you will see that on my Instagram page, and you will see me start launching my YouTube and just start dropping content back to back to back, because Gary Vee says in life, you only get one life. You know, as bad as everybody say you live after death, you get one life in physical appearance that everybody sees you. One time only everybody's going to see you alive. And if you pass away, it's only what you've done on earth that people are going to remember you as. So I want to leave this earth with a look where people says, well, although he kind of was blunt and truthful, he was himself, and he actually did what he said he was going to do when he chased his dreams. And kudos to him and hats down. I want to leave that legacy behind. I don't want nobody to feel like anything is impossible, because I didn't grow up in a rich family. You feel me? Like, I didn't grow up with my parents being the most stable parents or being the best parents ever. Like, my parents went through problems by seeing how they handle situations. I seen how my family handled situations. And I kind of had like an appearance to those things saying, well, no one gives a fuck about what goes on in this house unless you go tell people. My family had a big problem with always asking for advice from the kids. Like, my mom always asked me and my sister for advice, and I'm like, man, we can't help. Like, this is something you got to work on. And she told me, okay. My mom told us okay, and she never asked us for anything else. And then after that day, my mom just started doing things on her own. But that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is, in life, you got to be able to embrace what you have, and you just got to knock it out. Like, I know so many people who are great people, who are honest, hardworking people, who are very smart, driven, and they're stuck in their ways of what people are going to call them, what people think of them. And I tell them all the time, like, no one cares. I'm a simple person. Like, I'm a Virgo. Like, a lot of people don't understand this, but Virgos are the most compassionate, most loving, loyal, intellectual. I don't care. I'm gonna brag on us. I'm gonna brag on me, because I feel like we do this. And the reason I say that is because we help a lot of people in life, and a lot of people don't look at that as people don't look at it like, oh shit, he's helping me, until it's after they see that you were helped, you grew as a person while you were dealing with a Virgo, or you were talking, or you had a Virgo friend. And I feel like a lot of people are too stuck in their head sometimes. I can say that sometimes because I overanalyze. But I'm starting to let go about controlling things, about controlling how things are going to play out. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that the conversations I have with certain people are very deep, because a lot of people shed their emotions and tell me secrets and tell me things that I feel like only you could really help yourself with that. Like, that's me being blunt. Like, I tell everybody, like, no one is going to judge you if you don't have your money for rent. Like, no one knows your situation unless you tell them. And no one knows how much you pay for them shoes unless you told them. No one knows how much you pay for this car unless you told them. Who cares if your brother gave you a beat up 1998 car? Who gives a fuck? At least that's better than the person who has a Nissan Altima or a Jaguar or a Range Rover, and they're busting their ass each month for a $400 and $500 car note that they're slaves to. So in life, you can't care about what other people think, and I'm just now getting into that. Like, as bad as it may sound, I'm just not getting into that. I'm only speaking for myself. I don't know if everybody else is always going to deny it, but I'm just not letting go of the unknown. Like, I can't chase what I can't see. So I always had in my mind where, okay, if I'm going to do this in life, I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities. And if I fail, okay, I learned the lesson. I'm getting closer to learning how I want to achieve that next task I do. And a lot of people, they take L's and they fall back from life. They fall back from everybody. They feel like everybody's out to get them. Some people may be out to get you. Some people may be jealous of you. Some people may be intimidated by you, but that's not you to deal with. I kind of got in my head that I'm prominent, I'm a leader, and I'm him. And I put that in my head every day, because you guys don't know half the... I tell you guys in season 1 that my sister died, and that changed my life forever. Like, she dying, like, that fucked my head up. Like, she died 2 years ago. In July is going to make 2 years actually. But, that actually made me realize that, bro, my sister was a stand-up person, and she always told me in life, do what you want to do, because people are going to judge you here up until you die. And it's not until people realize what you were trying to do in this life now about all your work that you was trying to put in and all the things you was doing for them that they realize until you're after you're dead. So, give people the flowers around you, and don't be intimidated by other success, and don't let other people's success intimidate you. You should be proud. You should be glorifying other people who's doing great in life, because they're more likely able to accept. I'm always able to tell people, you might as well give this person their flowers now who's doing great around your circle, because if someone great around you is obviously hitting the next level, I look at it like God is about to bless me next, because God has this person in my circle and I'm grateful for this person. I don't try to take nothing to as an advantage, because it could be here today and gone tomorrow. I know so many people may be thinking, wow, I could never lose my parents, but that's just the harsh reality. People don't like to talk about, and we really don't like to talk about them certain things, but I feel like we're at an age now, we have to be able to look at things for what it is. You can't be expecting people to be there all day for you. You can't expect people to feel you. You can't expect people to understand you all the time. You just can't. It's impossible. And those who do understand you, embrace them. And those who do support you, love them. Stop giving a fuck about what other people think, because that's what's causing most people to halt their success. You're afraid to settle down. You're afraid to sit this one out, because you always have to be on every scene. And people have a way of just putting themselves out there that they don't need to. I always tell everybody, and this is literally a quote I made to myself a few years ago that I just had: be you, the world is going to revolve around you. People be like, the world don't revolve around you. Yes, it the fuck do, because your circle are people who live on this earth, and everybody who's around you is your epicenter. Everybody closest to you, that's your world. Your family's your world, your spouse, your kids, your job, whatever you feel like is more important to you, the most crucial things, that's your world, and the world revolves around you. So if your house isn't happy at home, you're not going to be happy in this world. But if you're yourself, you tell the truth, you be honest, you communicate, you work hard, you do what you want to do and not really care about the consequences later. And I'm not talking about anything bad, I'm just talking about risks you take or anything. You just jump out there and do it. The world is going to embrace you because you took a chance that a lot of people are afraid of. And I tell everybody, somebody may not listen to this podcast all the way, but for those who do listen, keep chasing your fucking dreams. I started marketing while in college, and I never understood that entrepreneurship was so, I'm not going to say hard, but you have to really be willing to do it. I'm talking about you really have to just tell yourself, okay, whatever, I'm just going to do it, because no one else is going to cut me a check for $1 million if I don't put in 180 hours of hard work this week. And I'm over exaggerating, but that's just how much dedication you have to have, and you can't give yourself any second guesses about, are you capable and what other people think. So each and every day, chase your dreams. Each and every day, put yourself in a better position to make yourself look up to par. And if you don't have that right mindset, it's okay to fall back and just meditate. A lot of people are too stubborn to sit down and say they meditate. If you pray, that's another form of meditation. But I would prefer you meditate and then pray. I'm a prayer and I meditate. When no one's around, I have to pray and meditate, because that's how I bring myself back to balance. And I have to, continuously tell myself everything's going to be all right. And that's how I get myself to the next level. I'm going to be good though. I speak like that because where I'm from, Miami, there were a lot of people around me who thought about what other people thought, what people thought about them. You got to have the nicest car. You got to have the nicest jewelry, and no one cares. You're negative $30,000 in your bank for a piece of car, a piece of metal that could be here today and gone tomorrow. So get yourself out your head. Pray, meditate, ask God, ask the universe for a purpose, ask the universe for signs. Not a lot of people look at things like you would, and not everybody's going to look at things how you would. So you can't expect people to understand you off the rip. Be yourself, chase your dreams, fuck others' opinions, put your thoughts to paper and execute. So this podcast is about personal growth, chasing your dreams, business. It's about everything that I feel like people need to start hearing. I'm at 1,000 downloads, 2,000 downloads about to be, but I'm not doing this for this. I'm not doing this for the numbers. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because I honestly feel like I've been through so much in my life, and I've been through hell and back, and I just been here. But I'm here. I told myself I was going to be an entrepreneur, and I'm fully doing it. And I quit my job last year, July, and I haven't looked back since. So I took my own advice and I executed. And all I tell people, you don't have to take my advice. Take your own advice because you know best. But it's always okay to look for others for help and opinions, but never look for others for validation. I want to thank you guys for listening to Road2Billions Podcast, man. It's about to be a crazy season 2. I'm about to drop gems off the gems. I'm going to start having people, come on the show real soon, and I'm going to start dropping my YouTube channel in a few weeks. But I just want to appreciate all the supporters and everybody who keep listening to me. It's going to be a great year, 2021. I appreciate you guys. Much blessings.